This is Minority Talk with Maria, where our news reporters discuss social issues that minorities in different communities are facing. One of these issues is colorism in the Hispanic community. Here's Yoali Roque with more.
The Latino community covers everyone on the skin color spectrum. However, these same differences have affected the way that they're treated, even by their own community. In the recent premiere of Black Panther's Wakanda Forever, the casting choice of Mexican actor Tenoch Huerta Mejia brought up discussions about Latino representation. Some reactions for the cast selection have uprooted the deep issue of colorism within the Latino community. We see the effect of this colorist cast system in Latino media. Lighter-skinned protagonists' leads are casted at a much higher rate than darker ones. In telenovelas, the lead characters have majority been casted with fair skin, blue or green eyes, and anyone else who was moreno or had a darker complexion would be typecasted as the servant, maid, criminal, or the nameless background observant. Almost always, in the majority of magazines or what is television, they always put the people with more lighter skin. Even ads of products sold inside stores use lighter-skinned Latinos on those products. Some products that Latinos use every day in their life, like soap, fabric softener, and even the products they use to make their meals. This multi-layer problem has created a negative beauty standard. Unfortunately, it is one that is still praised and upheld. It's even affected some of the youngest generations of the community.
Most likely in third grade, when I realized that most of my classmates didn't look like me, and I think in the playground that was very obvious, which is how people treated you and played with you and stuff. I used that peachy color. I never colored myself with the brown or any darker colors, even though I most likely probably was at that time.
And I try to match my skin as much, so I'd mix a little brown and then tan. There's never the right skin tone for me back when I was small, so I don't really like coloring my portrait, I guess, or the people of my skin color, because I knew I wouldn't even find the crayon for the right color of it.
I know diversity is trying to be pushed right now, but I still feel like it could be pushed further.
Latino beauty to me is being proud of your culture and wearing such bright colors and stuff, and embracing your skin color.
Sometimes as parents, it's what we lack, making our children feel sure of themselves more than anything. We see this issue in many minority communities, and it's up to us to discuss it and challenge it. This has been Yoali Roque. Back to you.
Thank you, Yoali. Next, we meet with a college student, Zan, about the discrimination he faced as a Muslim in America. To you, Hamilton Keener.
So, my aunt back in Punjab, she made this. So she did with her hands. So basically, all that's saying is La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, which is our shahada, which means there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is our prophet.
All right, Zan, how are you doing, bro?
Alhamdulillah, bro. I'm good. Nice to see you, man. It's been a long time.
It's great to see you.
Absolutely. I grew up in a Muslim household. My parents come from Punjab, Pakistan, so South Asia. Pakistan, for people that don't know, is a very Muslim dominated country. It was actually established in order to become an Islamic state. It's about 98% Muslim, so Islam is pretty much all I've known for a very long time. There have been two groups of people that have given me the hardest time for not even just being Muslim, but for being Pakistani, even for my ethnicity, for being Punjabi. I've been given a very hard time from two groups of people. One of them might actually surprise you. One of them is going to be a lot of white people, atheist Christians specifically, and the other is going to be Indians. Our brothers and sisters on the other side of the border. Well, of course, it's just what you always hear. I'm a terrorist. That I'm gonna blow something up. I was not allowed to wear a hoodie in school because they thought that I was going to orchestrate a bombing So I specifically was strictly forbidden from my teachers to not wear hoodies. And I had some teachers flat out accuse me of being a terrorist sometimes, which was, alarming at first because I'm like, what? Seriously? Like, I'm in third grade and my teacher's out here thinking that, and I took a trip to Pakistan when I was in third grade, and, she made some sort of remark about me coming back with like bombs and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you're supposed to be my teacher. But I've dealt with it plenty. And at first when I was younger, I definitely used to get very angry, very defensive. Now that I'm grown, I'm 18 years old now, and I've heard it all. There's nothing that someone can say to me that I haven't heard already. It doesn't bother me anymore. I just laugh, because I know it's coming from ignorance. But I never had a rock thrown at me to the point I'm bleeding. I never had blood to the point that my shoes are filled. And my prophet peace upon him did. And if he never lashed out on them, for me, my issues compared to him are minuscule. Why should I lash on the people that are just saying words?
Thank you, Hamilton. Minority aren't just based on religion and race, but also sexual identifications. The LGBTQ+ also experiences hardship. Here's Anna Martinez and Maddie Nicholas to give us more information.
Hello, this is Minority Talks with Anna Martinez, and we are here at the UNG Gainesville campus, and we'll be sharing hardships that LGBTQ+ students have encountered throughout the years in conservative environments. One minority group that has been oppressed for too long is the LGBTQ+ community. The Spectrum Alliance will be sharing their personal experiences for awareness. So alliances like Spectrum help students create support systems and communities.
Well, sometimes I can't really feel like I can express myself properly, because I feel like if I do end up getting into a relationship, I can't really be affectionate towards my partner compared to heterosexual couples, because me just existing is probably a danger already for the government, and they don't realize that we are people. They're just like, it just goes against their beliefs, and they believe that anything that's against theirs is wrong.
It was a little difficult even now still, as I'm still not out, that such typical roles for women and men still plays, and I don't really fit in those roles, but I don't feel still comfortable enough to come out to my family. So it still is a little difficult to speak on specific matters like LGBTQ to them, as they don't understand how I feel about it.
Okay, so growing up in Georgia, while being LGBTQI+ was interesting, there wasn't a lot of education, so I didn't know about the LGBT community until I was in middle school, and even then I didn't know that I was LGBTQI+ until I was in high school. It was very restrictive and very confusing growing up in a very conservative state.
It was rough growing up LGBT in a conservative household because being straight is the expectation. It's what happens. You're supposed to get married, you're supposed to have kids, and so when you don't necessarily fit into those things, or you want to marry, say, a girl instead of a boy and not have kids, it becomes hard to figure out your place in the family, especially when those things were never discussed previously, and you then feel like you're letting everybody down.
If you ever need a safe space and want to learn more about Spectrum, they are located in the MSA office. Also, they meet bi-weekly on Mondays, and they will be having a prom this Friday. So, pull up! This was Anna with Minority Talks. Now back to you.
Over the last decade, LGBTQ+ people have been gaining visibility across the nation, and college campuses have been no exception. According to the Association of American Universities, nearly 17% of students identified as a minority when it comes to sexual orientation, which can include identities such as gay, lesbian, bisexual, asexual, queer, or more. While Dahlonega may not be known for its progressive atmosphere, the UNG Dahlonega campus seems to be welcoming to students within the LGBTQ+ community.
So my experiences on the Veronica campus have been pretty good. There are a lot of LGBTQ groups, and there are also a lot of gender inclusive groups as well, kind of like in fraternities and like other things like that that are very welcoming.
There are plenty of UNG student organizations openly welcoming to LGBTQ+ students, including 3 gender-inclusive Greek organizations, the Gender Sexuality Alliance, and the Spectrum Alliance on the Gainesville campus.
I have been to a couple GSA meetings myself, and I also have a best friend who is in a gender-inclusive fraternity as well.
There are lots of welcoming spaces on campus for the LGBTQ+ students, including the Hoag Student Center and the Rec Center. However, these students still have to worry about facing discrimination from fellow students, teachers, and even visitors.
No, I haven't had any negative experiences on this campus. There are a couple like looks, they kind of like laugh like to themselves, and you can kind of notice it, but there's no like physical confrontation up against like somebody else and me.
While there may not be many altercations on campus victimizing LGBTQ+ students, that doesn't mean these groups aren't victimized and oppressed because of their identities. Issues such as pay gaps, discriminatory hiring, and hate crimes are all examples of prominent worries within the LGBTQ+ community, especially as they graduate from college. Luckily, the LGBTQ+ community has to worry a little bit less while they attend school at UNG.
Thank you for that information, Anna and Maddie. In the Black community, the women are met with struggles when it comes to their hair. Stephanie Obadeku has more on that.
In the late 1800s, Madam C.J. Walker introduced the hot comb. The hot comb was designed to take the kinky naturalness out of African hair and turn it into something that was deemed more professional. With one quick Google search, it proves that society has deemed black natural hair as unprofessional. Because of that, black women for centuries have chemically altered their hair to fit into society's wants. Kiki Farah, who has been doing hair for the past 18 years, has helped change and fix those damages that chemicals have caused to black women.
Absolutely. I use protective styles for myself, my daughter, my mother, and my sister, because unfortunately, some of the chemicals that we do put into our hair do cause long-term health issues.
Curl pattern altering chemicals like these.
Tough to navigate a black woman's hair if you're not learning from a licensed professional or a licensed professional. Go back to like the real grassroots of what our hair actually was and made me very curious. And here I am now, maybe 18 years later, and that's one of my things I love to do, to get women back to what is healthy and natural for them.
In recent years, the negative stigma has reduced. Protective hairstyles like these are being worn on red carpets, which was almost unheard of 10 to 15 years ago. Although the stigma has reduced, the accessibility is now becoming an issue. There are pharmacies around every corner that carry hair products at reasonable prices, but unfortunately there isn't much selection for kinky hair compared to straight or wavy hair textures. Hopefully in years to come, these small tucked up corners will become the size of larger aisles so that everyone will have accessibility to hair care products to better help themselves.
Thank you, Stephanie. More of the Black community, I'll be taking you to Athens, Georgia, where a Black community is gradually going through gentrification.
Located in Athens, Georgia is Nellie B, a townhome community with majority Black residents. This neighborhood is currently going through gentrification, meaning new businesses are coming in as well as real estate development. This could mean many things for the current residents.
The housing project is made up of one-story red brick row houses completed in 1972.
I grew up in Nellie B. I'm from Nellie B. You know, this is our hood. It's good to me. You know, this is where I'm from, so I love it.
Nellie B is one of many black communities in America that faces gentrification due to violent crimes in the neighborhood.
Some people, they are willing to listen and to want to do better and to fix the community. You know what I'm saying? But it's really amongst the older people.
Residents voiced their concerns with the changes happening. In attempts to better their community, they use street art and social gatherings to come together.
We in impoverished condition. We redline. You know what I'm saying? We don't own no stores in our communities, no gas stations, none of that stuff.
Places like Family Dollar, gas stations, and corner stores in the area offers convenience for the residents. But the appearance of a police station in the heart of the neighborhood impacts the already strained relationship between police officers and the residents.
I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. So, what I do, I hold God at his word. That's why I keep a smile on my face. I don't worry about nothing. Why? Why you don't worry? Why you don't worry, black man? You don't worry about this? No, I don't worry about it. Why? The Creator is watching over. I got angels watching over me.
While still being positive, they hope that the changes coming in would open more doors for them and fix the community.
To a lot of residents that live at Nellie B, this is a home they've always known. The social issue could either be a positive or negative change in their life. My name is Maria Giola, reporting for Vanguard.
Minorities everywhere face different social issues every day. Let's continue to have these discussions to make this world a better place. This has been Minority Talk with Maria, and you're watching Vanguard News.